The Holloway mansion smells like pine and vanilla, but it might as well be poison. I stand in the center of the grand living room, my fingers gripping an ivory gift box wrapped in silver ribbon, and I can't tear my eyes away from what's inside. A lifetime platinum membership to Forever Alone, an app specifically designed for desperate singles over 35. And beneath it, a hardcover book with embossed gold letters. Accepting Your Fate. A guide for the perpetually single. The fireplace crackles behind me, flames dancing in the stone hearth. Outside the bay windows, snow falls silently over the manicured grounds of Greenwich, Connecticut. But inside this room, the cold has nothing to do with January weather. Madison laughs. The sound is sharp and mocking, bouncing off the cathedral ceiling like shattering crystal. I found it on Instagram, my sister says, her voice dripping with fake concern. The reviews were incredible. Perfect for women who've abandoned all hope of traditional romance. I don't look up. I keep staring at that horrible purple app card, at the cartoon illustration of a dying rose that's supposed to represent women like me. Women who've supposedly expired their freshness date. Take it, sweetheart, my mother's voice cuts through the room like a blade. Victoria Holloway sits perched on the cream velvet sofa, her posture so rigid she could be carved from the same stone as the fireplace. Madison is just concerned about your future. Don't let your stubbornness turn you into a lonely old maid. My father says nothing. Robert Holloway stands near the mahogany bar, swirling scotch in a cut crystal glass, studying the amber liquid like it contains secrets he's not interested in sharing with me. His business partner, William Bennett, shifts uncomfortably in the leather wingback chair beside him. Jason Bennett, Madison's fiancé, suddenly finds his phone fascinating. I close the box. Slowly. My hands don't shake, though something inside my chest feels like it's splitting apart. 9 months. It's been 9 months since I sent those invitations, since I spent 4 evenings at my dining table in Portland, selecting the perfect ivory cardstock, tying satin ribbons by hand. Premium linen weight, the kind that whispers elegance when you touch it. Ethan had watched me from the doorway, his arms folded, his expression cautious. "Are you sure you shouldn't call them first?" he'd asked. I'd smoothed another ribbon, my fingers working the silk into a perfect bow. "They're my parents. They wouldn't miss this." The memory sits in my throat like broken glass. I'd delayed the ceremony for 40 minutes, staring at those 2 empty chairs in the front row with small wooden signs. Reserved for father, reserved for mother. The signs I'd crafted myself, decorated with lavender because my mother had once mentioned she liked purple flowers. That was 8 years ago. But I remember. I remember everything they chose to forget. "Well?" Madison leans forward on the sofa, her platinum blonde hair falling over one shoulder in a carefully arranged cascade. Her engagement ring catches the firelight, a 4-carat diamond that cost more than my entire wedding budget. "Aren't you going to thank me?" The words lodge in my throat. Part of me wants to scream. Part of me wants to bolt through those massive wooden doors, like I've done countless times before, drive straight to the airport, fly home to Portland where Ethan is probably making dinner and wondering if I'm surviving this nightmare. But I'm exhausted from running. William Bennett clears his throat. "Perhaps we should proceed to dinner," he suggests, his voice carefully neutral. "I believe the catering staff has everything prepared in the dining room." Madison's smirk widens. She knows she's won this battle. She always does. Except this time, something inside me doesn't break. It transforms. Not my heart, which has been breaking in this house since I was old enough to understand that some daughters are cherished while others are merely tolerated. No. What transforms is something deeper. The invisible chains I've been carrying for 31 years. The ones labeled dutiful daughter and permanent disappointment, and maybe if you just tried harder. I look up, my eyes lock with Madison's, and I watch her victorious expression flicker with uncertainty. There's something in my face she doesn't recognize. Something cold and clear and absolute. "Thank you, Madison," I say. My voice emerges smooth, almost pleasant. "I'll treasure this forever." I tuck the box under my arm, holding it against my ribs like evidence. Because that's exactly what it is. Victoria frowns. Jennifer. Don't be overdramatic. It's simply a thoughtful gesture. Oh. I know. I smile. The expression feels foreign on my face, like I'm wearing someone else's mask. It's incredibly thoughtful. Very memorable. Robert finally looks at me, his gray eyebrows drawing together in a warning. Jennifer. It's the same tone he used when I was 17 and suggested that maybe, just maybe, Madison shouldn't get a Mercedes for her first car when I'd received a 2-year-old Toyota. The tone that means don't make a scene, don't embarrass us, don't exist too loudly in spaces meant for your sister to dominate. I hold his gaze. Yes, Dad? He opens his mouth, closes it, turns back to his scotch. Jason Bennett stands abruptly, shoving his phone into his suit pocket. I need some fresh air, he mutters, walking toward the French doors leading to the snow-covered terrace. Madison's smile finally falters. Jason, it's freezing outside. Jason hesitates at the terrace doors, the cold air rushing in, before turning back with a resigned sigh to join the procession to the dining room. But he's already moved, and I understand something in that moment. He's uncomfortable. He should be. Any decent human being would be. Shall we? William gestures toward the dining room, his discomfort visible in the tension of his jaw. The dining room chandelier casts crystal patterns across the pristine white tablecloth. Victoria taps her spoon against her wine glass, the sound slicing through the murmur of polite conversation like a scalpel. Before we begin, my mother announces. Her voice projected for an audience. I want to toast this extraordinary season, the year of celebration. I watch Madison straighten in her chair, her practiced smile blooming across her face like she's rehearsed this moment her entire life. My youngest daughter, Victoria, continues, gesturing toward Madison with her wine glass. We'll be married this March in what I can only describe as a fairy tale wedding. 400 guests. The grand ballroom at the Plaza in Manhattan. A custom Vera Wang gown that took 8 months to create. Jason shifts beside Madison, his jaw clenched. William Bennett studies his appetizer fork with the intensity of a scientist examining a specimen. Madison has always understood how to do things correctly, Victoria says, and the word correctly lands on my skin like a brand. With elegance. With consideration for family tradition, my father raises his scotch in agreement. He hasn't looked at me since we sat down. I slice into my filet mignon. The knife glides through the meat with barely any resistance, but my hand feels welded to the handle. Victoria sets down her glass with a delicate clink. Her gaze swings toward me, and I recognize the gleam in her eyes. She's about to perform. Madison is settled, she says, her tone saturated with manufactured concern. But what about you, Jennifer? You're over 30 now. You can't seriously plan to live alone with cats forever, can you? The table goes silent. Even the catering staff, refilling champagne glasses near the sideboard, seem to freeze mid-pour. When is it your turn? Victoria asks. The question hangs in the air like smoke from a funeral pyre. I feel Jason's eyes flick toward me, then away. William clears his throat but says nothing. Madison leans forward slightly, her expression arranged into something that might resemble sisterly concern if you didn't know her intimately. But I do know her. I see the anticipation in the way her fingers curl around her wine stem. She's waiting for me to collapse, to stammer, to make some pathetic excuse about focusing on my career or not having found the right person yet. I set down my silverware, the clink of metal on porcelain sounds louder than it should in the sudden silence. I'm not single, Mother. The words come out calm, steady, like I'm commenting on the weather outside. The table freezes. Madison's glass pauses halfway to her lips. Victoria's fork hovers over her plate. Robert's head snaps up, his eyes narrowing with suspicion. Excuse me? Victoria's voice drops to that dangerous register she reserves for moments when things aren't proceeding according to her script. I said I'm not single. I reach for my water glass, take a slow sip. I'm married. Have been for 9 months now. The silence that follows is absolute. It's the kind of silence that precedes earthquakes. Madison recovers first, her laugh sharp and disbelieving. That's ridiculous. You're not married. We would know. Would you? I set down my glass, meeting her stare directly. When was the last time any of you asked about my life? Really asked? Victoria's face flushes red. This is absurd. If you were married, we would have been invited. We're your family. You were invited. The words drop like stones into still water. What? My father speaks for the first time since dinner began, his voice rough. I sent you all invitations. Last May. Premium cardstock. Hand-tied ribbons. I spent weeks on them. I pull out my phone, scroll through my photos, find the image I saved. These invitations. I turn the screen toward them. The photograph shows 3 cream envelopes, each addressed in my careful calligraphy. Mr. and Mrs. Robert Holloway. Miss Madison Holloway. The elegant script I'd practiced for hours. Victoria's face drains of color. Madison's mouth opens and closes soundlessly. That's impossible. Victoria whispers. We never received. You received them. FedEx confirmed delivery. May 15th. Signed for by Madison Holloway at 2:47 p.m. All eyes turn to Madison. My sister's face transforms from confident to panicked in the space of a heartbeat. I don't know what you're talking about, she says, but her voice wavers. You signed for a package addressed to the family. I continue, my voice remaining eerily calm. You took it inside. And then you threw it away. All 3 invitations. Without ever mentioning them to anyone. That's a lie. Madison's voice climbs toward hysteria. You're making this up because you're jealous of my wedding. Am I? I scroll through my phone again, because I have the FedEx tracking information. I have the delivery confirmation. And I have something even better. I tap the screen, and a video begins to play. The footage is grainy but clear enough. Madison, standing in the Holloway driveway, accepting a FedEx package. She glances at the address label, and her expression shifts. Recognition. Then something darker. Calculation. The video continues. Madison carries the package inside. The camera angle shifts security footage from the garage. Madison walks directly to the trash bin, looks around to make sure she's alone, and throws the entire package inside. She doesn't open it. She just disposes of it. The dining room erupts. Madison Elizabeth Holloway. Victoria's voice cracks like thunder. What did you do? I wasn't. Madison stammers, her face now completely drained of color. It was a mistake. I thought it was junk mail. Junk mail? I ask quietly. Addressed to the entire family? In calligraphy? From your sister? Jason Bennett stands up slowly, his chair scraping against the hardwood floor. He's staring at Madison like he's never seen her before. You destroyed your sister's wedding invitations? His voice is barely above a whisper. So she'd have to get married alone? No. Madison reaches for his arm, but he steps back. Jason, please, you don't understand. She was trying to upstage my engagement. My special year. Your special year. I repeat, and suddenly, I'm standing too. I got engaged in January. You got engaged in March. I set my wedding date for September. You insisted on March the following year, making yours the event of the season. And when I sent you an invitation to share in my happiness, you made sure I'd walk down that aisle knowing my family chose not to come. The weight of 9 months crashes over the room. Victoria's hand trembles as she sets down her wine glass. Robert's face has gone ashen. Jennifer, my father begins, but I cut him off. I waited 40 minutes, Dad. 40 minutes before starting the ceremony, staring at those 2 empty chairs I'd reserved for you. I'd made signs. Reserved for Mother. Reserved for Father. I'd decorated them with lavender because Mom once said she liked purple flowers. I told the photographer to wait because surely my parents were just running late. Surely they wouldn't miss their daughter's wedding. The guests kept checking their phones, whispering. My mother-in-law kept asking if we should start. And Ethan, my voice cracks slightly. Ethan held my hand and told me it was okay, that we could wait as long as I needed. But you never came. Because you never knew. Because Madison made sure of it. Madison is crying now, mascara streaming down her face in dark rivers. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was stupid and selfish and cruel. Jason finishes, his voice cold. He pulls the engagement ring from his pocket and sets it on the table in front of her with a soft click. I can't marry someone capable of that. Jason, no. Madison lunges forward, but he's already walking away, toward the foyer. William Bennett stands, his expression grave. I think we should go, son. But Jason is already at the door, and William has to hurry to catch up. Victoria is sobbing now, her perfect composure shattered. Jennifer, sweetheart, if we'd had any idea, would you have come? I ask. The question hangs in the air, and the silence that follows is answer enough. You didn't call, my mother tries. You didn't reach out directly, I shouldn't have had to. My voice is steady now, clear. You're my parents. You should have wondered why your daughter didn't want you at her wedding. You should have asked. You should have called me. But you didn't. Because it was easier not to know. Easier to let Madison plan her perfect wedding without the inconvenience of mine taking up any attention. Easier to believe I was just being difficult, just being Jennifer, always too sensitive, always too much or never enough. Robert finally speaks, his voice hollow. What do you want from us now? Nothing. The word comes out simple, final. I don't want anything from you anymore. I came here because Ethan asked me to give you one last chance. To see if maybe, just maybe, you could be happy for me. Acknowledge me. See me. I reach for the ivory gift box, the cruel membership and book that Madison gave me. I pick it up with both hands and walk around the table. Madison flinches when I approach, like I might strike her. I place the box directly in front of her, right next to Jason's abandoned engagement ring. Keep it, I say. You're going to need it now. The words taste like freedom. I turn toward the foyer. William and Jason are already collecting their coats from the closet. As I pass William, he gives me a single nod. Respect, maybe. Or approval. It doesn't matter which. Behind me, I hear my mother's voice, thin and desperate. Jennifer, wait. We can fix this, we can talk about this, we can. But I'm already walking. Through the foyer, past the grand staircase where Madison and I posed for family portraits as children, through the massive oak doors that close behind me with a final, definitive thud. The January air hits my face like ice water. Clean. Sharp. Real. My Uber is waiting at the end of the circular driveway, exhaust puffing white clouds in the freezing darkness. I climb into the back seat, and the driver glances at me in the rearview mirror. JFK Airport, I confirm. As we pull away, I allow myself one look back at the Holloway mansion. Every window blazes with light, but from here, it looks hollow. A beautiful facade with nothing genuine inside. I pull out my phone and video call Ethan. His face fills the screen, and the knot in my chest finally begins to loosen. His hair is messy, like he's been running his hands through it with worry. His eyes search mine intently. Is it over? He asks quietly. It's over. Mom made your favorite chicken soup, he says. His smile is soft, warm, everything that house wasn't. She's keeping it hot for you. Let's go home. Home. Not the place I was born, but the place where I'm truly loved. Yeah, I say, and my voice only trembles slightly. Let's go home. 4 days later, I'm organizing groceries in our Portland kitchen when the FedEx truck pulls up outside. Through the window, I watch the driver jog to the porch, scan a package, jog back to the truck. The box sits there on our welcome mat, square and ominous. I know what it is before I open it. I can practically sense my father's desperation seeping through the cardboard. Inside, a check. $75,000. The amount seems obscene, written in my father's precise handwriting. The note is brief, typed on his corporate letterhead like this, is just another business transaction. I'm deeply sorry. Please keep the events of that evening private. We need to protect the family reputation. Consider this a gesture of reconciliation. I stand there in my kitchen, holding $75,000, and I think about the girl who would have cashed this check. The one who showed up on Christmas Eve still hoping. The one who reserved chairs at her wedding. She's gone. I tear the check in half, then quarters, then into confetti. My phone is already in my hand. I arrange the pieces on the counter, photograph them, and open the family group chat. 4 people. Mom, Dad, Madison, me. I type. I don't sell my silence. I'm giving it to you freely, as a final gift. Do not contact me again. My thumb hovers over the send button for maybe 5 seconds. Then I press it. The message shows delivered. Then read. Someone starts typing. Stops. Starts again. I don't wait to see what they'll say. I scroll to the top of the chat, tap the settings icon, and find the words I've been searching for. Leave conversation. Are you sure? The phone asks. I've never been more certain of anything. Leave. Valentine's Day arrives wrapped in Portland rain and the smell of Sarah's famous lasagna. Ethan's family crowds into their cozy living room, laughing, debating what movie to watch before dinner. His sister steals the remote. His nephew spills apple juice on the carpet. His mother hugs me tight, and I feel the weight of the emerald brooch on her cardigan pressing against my shoulder. Real. Solid. An actual heirloom passed down with love, instead of obligation. Come on, Ethan says, taking my hand. Let's get some air before dinner. We step onto the back deck. The city lights glow in the distance, and downtown Portland hums with life below us. Ethan wraps his arm around my waist, and I lean into him, breathing in rain and cedar and freedom. Any regrets? He asks softly. I think about the empty chairs, the destroyed invitations, the cruel gift, the check torn into confetti. Not one. Good, he says, kissing my temple. Because my mom wants to know if we're ready to start trying for kids. I laugh, real and genuine. Already? She's excited, Ethan grins. She's already knitting baby blankets. Through the window, I can see his family setting the table, passing plates, pouring wine. His father is telling an animated story with his hands. His sister is laughing. His nephew is drawing pictures at the counter. This is family. Not the one I was born into, but the one I chose. The one that chose me back. Maybe, I say to Ethan. Maybe we're ready. His smile could light up the whole city. Yeah? Yeah. Because I'm not the Holloway daughter anymore. I'm Jennifer Chen, landscape designer and now, finally, architect of my own future. I cleared the weeds. I burned out the rot. And here, in this garden I chose, something real and beautiful is growing. 3 months later, on a warm April afternoon, I'm kneeling in our backyard garden when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer, but something makes me pick up. Hello? Jennifer? The voice is female. Young, uncertain. This is Jennifer. It's Madison. Silence stretches between us like a chasm. I sit back on my heels, dirt on my gloves, the sun warm on my shoulders. Why are you calling? I wanted to, I need to. She takes a shaky breath. I'm in therapy. Real therapy. Not the kind Mom used to send me to for image consulting. Actual therapy. I don't say anything. I just listen. My therapist helped me understand something. What I did to you throwing away those invitations. It wasn't just mean. It was evil. And I did it because I've spent my entire life terrified of being invisible. Of being second best. Of being you. Being me. I almost laugh. Madison, you were the favorite. You always were. I was the performing doll, she says, and her voice cracks. I was the one who had to be perfect so Mom and Dad could show me off. You were the one they couldn't control. The one who did things her own way. And I hated you for it. I hated that you were free when I was drowning. I close my eyes, feeling the sun on my face. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't want you to say anything. I just wanted you to know that I'm trying to be better. Jason breaking up with me, it destroyed me. But it also woke me up. I've cut my social media following in half. I've stepped back from all the influencer stuff. I'm working at an animal shelter now, just volunteering. Doing something that actually matters. I'm glad you're getting help, I say carefully. But I don't think I can. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Madison interrupts. I don't deserve that. I just wanted you to know that I see it now. I see what I did. And I'm so sorry. The line goes quiet except for her breathing. Thank you for calling, I finally say. I mean that. But I need time. A lot of time. I understand. Her voice is small. Take all the time you need. Take forever if you need to. I just wanted you to know. She hangs up before I can respond. I sit there in my garden, phone in my dirty glove, and I realize something. I don't hate her anymore. The rage that burned in me for months has faded to something else. Not forgiveness, not yet. Maybe not ever. But something softer. Indifference, maybe. Or just the peace of knowing that her demons are no longer mine to carry. Ethan comes outside with 2 glasses of lemonade. Who was that, Madison? He sits down beside me, handing me a glass. What did she want? To apologize. To tell me she's in therapy. And I don't know yet. I take a sip of lemonade, tart and sweet. I don't know if I'll ever want her in my life again. But at least she's trying. That's her journey, Ethan says wisely. Not yours. Exactly. I lean my head on his shoulder. My journey is right here. We sit there in comfortable silence, watching the garden grow. 6 months later, in October, I'm at a landscape architecture conference in Seattle when I see her. Victoria Holloway. My mother. She's standing near the registration desk, looking lost in the crowd of designers and architects. She's thinner than I remember. Her hair has more gray. She looks smaller, somehow. Diminished. Our eyes meet across the lobby. She freezes. I could walk away. Turn around, go to my panel discussion, pretend I didn't see her. But something makes me stay. She walks toward me slowly, clutching her purse like a shield. Jennifer, Mom. We stand there, 2 strangers who share DNA. I didn't know you'd be here, she says. I came to see your exhibition. The one about healing gardens for hospitals. Someone sent me the article about it. Madison, I guess. She nods. She's been sending me things, articles about you. Your awards. Your work. She said you deserve to be acknowledged. That's not your job anymore, I say, not unkindly. I know. Victoria's eyes fill with tears. I know I lost that right. I just wanted to see for myself. To see what I missed. What I threw away. You threw away a lot of things, Mom. I know. She wipes her eyes. I destroyed my marriage. Did you know that? Your father and I are separated. Have been for 4 months now. I didn't know. I feel a flicker of something, not quite sympathy, but not satisfaction either. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. I earned it. I chose Madison's image over everyone's happiness. I chose pretense over love. And now I have neither. She looks at me directly for the first time. Your father is in therapy too. He's trying to understand why he was so emotionally absent. Why he let me control everything. That's good, I say carefully. I'm glad you're both working on yourselves. Are we too late? She asks, and her voice breaks. Are we too late to be your parents? I take a deep breath. I don't know, Mom. I honestly don't know. What I do know is that I've built a life without you. A good life. A happy life. And I'm not willing to risk that for people who might hurt me again. I understand. She nods, tears streaming down her face. I just wanted you to know that I'm proud of you. I should have said it 1,000 times before, but I'm saying it now. I'm so proud of you, Jennifer. The words I waited my whole life to hear. And now, standing here, I realize they don't have the power I thought they would. They're just words. Late words. Thank you, I say simply. I need to get to my panel. Of course. She steps back. May I write to you? Not often. Just sometimes. I consider this. Yes. But I can't promise I'll respond. That's more than I deserve. She manages a small smile. Good luck with your presentation. Thank you. I walk away, and this time, I don't look back. That evening, Ethan and I walk along the Seattle waterfront, the Space Needle glowing against the darkening sky. How do you feel? He asks. About seeing your mom? Tired. I admit. But also lighter. Like I closed a door I didn't even know was still open. Do you think you'll ever let them back in? Your parents? Maybe. Someday. On my terms. I squeeze his hand. But right now, I'm exactly where I need to be. Good. He pulls me close. Because I have news. What kind of news? My heart skips. The pregnancy test kind of news. I stop walking, turning to face him. Are you serious? His grin is enormous. Mom helped me pick up 3 different tests. You've been so stressed with the conference, I didn't want to add pressure. But all 3 were positive. We're having a baby, Jen. I burst into tears, happy tears, and throw my arms around him. We're having a baby? We're having a baby. People walk past us on the waterfront, probably thinking we're crazy, crying and laughing in the middle of the sidewalk. But I don't care. Because this moment, this perfect, unexpected, beautiful moment, is everything I never knew I needed. 9 months later, I'm holding my daughter. Eleanor Rose Chen. 6 pounds, 8 ounces of pure perfection. She has Ethan's dark hair and my nose. She's screaming at the top of her tiny lungs, and I've never heard anything more beautiful. Ethan's family fills the hospital room. His mother is crying happy tears. His sister is already taking 1,000 photos. His father is calling everyone he knows to announce the news. This is what family looks like. My phone buzzes with messages. Friends. Colleagues. Ethan's extended family. And then I see it, a message from Madison. I saw the announcement online. Congratulations. She's beautiful. I won't intrude. Just wanted you to know. I'm happy for you. And attached. A photo of a donation receipt to the Children's Hospital in Eleanor's name. $5,000. I stare at the message for a long time. What is it? Ethan asks softly. Madison. He tenses slightly. Do you want me to block the number? No. I look down at Eleanor, at this tiny human who represents a fresh start, a new chapter. No. Let her be part of the story. Even if it's just from a distance. You're incredibly generous, Ethan says. Not generous, just free. I kiss Eleanor's forehead. I'm free from needing them to change. Free from waiting for apologies. Free from the past. 3 days later, we bring Eleanor home to Portland. The house is filled with flowers, gifts, and casseroles from Ethan's family. As I'm settling Eleanor into her nursery, a package arrives. FedEx again. But this time, I'm not afraid of what's inside. I open it carefully. Inside is a handmade baby quilt, intricate and beautiful. The pattern features lavender flowers, real lavender, not just purple. And tucked inside is a note in my mother's handwriting, for Eleanor. I remembered you said once that you loved lavender. I'm learning to listen now. Even if it's too late. With love, Victoria. I hold the quilt, feeling the careful stitches, the hours of work. This isn't redemption. It's not forgiveness. It's just a beginning. Maybe. What do you think? I ask Ethan, showing him the quilt. He examines it carefully. It's beautiful work. Real effort. What do you want to do? Keep it, I decide. But on our terms. Our timeline, our boundaries. I love you, he says, kissing my forehead. Have I mentioned that today? Once or twice. But I don't mind hearing it again. Eleanor fusses in her crib, and I pick her up, holding her close. Welcome to the world, little one, I whisper. You're going to have a very interesting family. Ethan wraps his arms around both of us. The best kind of interesting. A year later, on Eleanor's first birthday, we have a small party in our backyard. The garden I've been cultivating for 3 years is in full bloom. Roses, lavender, sunflowers. Everything thriving. Ethan's family is here, of course. Our friends. Some colleagues. Eleanor toddles around in her birthday dress, cake smashed all over her face, absolutely delighted with life. And in the corner, standing quietly with a small gift bag, is Madison. She called 2 weeks ago, asking if she could come. Not to intrude. Just to meet her niece. Just for an hour. Ethan and I discussed it for 3 days. We set boundaries. 1 hour. She stays outside. She doesn't post anything on social media. She respects our space. She agreed to everything. Now she's here, watching Eleanor play, and there are tears streaming down her face. I walk over to her, holding 2 cups of lemonade. Here. Thank you. She takes the cup, but doesn't drink. She's beautiful, Jen. Really beautiful. She is. We stand in silence, watching my daughter discover the joy of grass between her toes. I have 18 months of sobriety now, Madison says suddenly. I didn't know you were alcohol. Pills. Whatever kept me numb. I've been sober since the night Jason left. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm proud of you, I say, and I mean it. Don't. Madison's voice breaks. Don't be proud of me for doing the bare minimum of being human. It's not the bare minimum, it's growth. That matters. She finally looks at me. Do you think we'll ever be sisters again? Real sisters? I consider the question honestly. I don't know. Maybe. But it won't be like before. It'll be something different. Something we build from scratch, with honesty. I'll take it, she says. Whatever you're willing to give, I'll take it. Eleanor toddles over, curious about the stranger. Madison kneels down, keeping her distance. Hi, Eleanor. I'm your Aunt Madison. Eleanor stares at her, then holds out a flower she picked from the garden. A daisy, crushed and perfect. Madison takes it with shaking hands. Thank you, she whispers. It's beautiful. And watching my sister hold that broken flower with such care, I feel something shift. Not forgiveness. Not yet. But possibility. 2 years later, Victoria asks if she can visit. Not for a party, not for a holiday. Just to visit. To meet her granddaughter properly. To try. Ethan and I discuss it. We talk to our therapist. We set extensive boundaries. She can visit for 3 hours. She stays at a hotel. She doesn't criticize. She doesn't compare. She doesn't bring up the past unless we do. She agrees. When she arrives, she's different. Softer. Her clothes are less designer, more practical. Her hair is natural gray. She brings flowers from her own garden, not from an expensive florist. Thank you for allowing me to come, she says at the door. Eleanor, now 2 and fearless, runs up to her. Gamma? Yes, sweetheart. Victoria's voice breaks. I'm your grandma. She kneels down, and Eleanor hugs her without hesitation. Children are generous with their love. I'm learning from my daughter every day. We have lunch in the garden. Victoria admires the landscaping. She asks about my work. She listens when Ethan talks about his job. She doesn't make it about her. When Eleanor naps, we finally talk. Your father sends his regards, Victoria says carefully. He wanted to come too, but I thought that might be too much. It would be, I agree. 1 parent at a time. He's different now. Retired. Volunteering. He built a community garden in Greenwich. That's good. He asks about you constantly. Shows everyone pictures of Eleanor that Madison sends him. I nod. Maybe next time. Maybe. I'll take maybe, Victoria says, echoing Madison's words from a year ago. Before she leaves, Victoria hugs me. Really hugs me. Not the stiff, performative hugs from my childhood, but a real embrace. I love you, Jennifer, she says. I should have said it more. I should have shown it. But I'm saying it now. I love you. I love you too, Mom, I say, and I'm surprised to find that I mean it. Not the desperate, needy love of a child seeking approval, but the careful, boundaried love of an adult choosing connection. After she leaves, Ethan and I sit on the porch, watching Eleanor play in the garden. How do you feel? He asks. Like I've been carrying a boulder up a mountain my entire life, and I finally just set it down. That's good. It is. I lean my head on his shoulder. It doesn't mean I trust them completely. It doesn't mean everything is fixed. But it means I'm not angry anymore. And that's enough. More than enough, Ethan agrees. It's everything. I look out at my garden, at the life I've built from nothing. At the family I chose and the family that's slowly, carefully, earning their way back in. I cleared the weeds. I burned out the rot. I planted new seeds in good soil. And now, finally, I'm watching my garden bloom.